A measuring tape is full of clever little features that can really make your job a lot easier, if you know how to use them. Today I'll give you what I think is the most comprehensive list of measuring tape tricks and tips that you're going to find anywhere. Even if you've seen some of these before, watch until the end. You will learn something new about your measuring tape. The very design of a measuring tape is a marvel. It has to be flexible enough to roll up inside the compact case, but rigid enough to be extended away from you. So the tape itself is built into an arch-like shape. This makes it rigid in one direction, but weak in the other. Keep this in mind as you use it. When you extend it, the tape must remain upright to stay rigid. If you're careless and you tilt it to the side, the tape may collapse. Use this to your advantage. If you want to measure to a point several feet away, don't just walk over there and put the tab on the object. Everyone on the job site's going to laugh at you. Instead, throw your tape to it. This is done by pulling on the tab in a quick, smooth motion. It takes a little bit of practice, but you can usually get 4 to 6 feet depending on the tape, which means you can be at the end of an 8-foot board in just a couple of motions and save half a mile of walking over the course of a day. Some people have turned this into an art, but to go this far, you'll need some clever camera work and a gullible audience. The downside of the tape's arch-like shape is its inability to measure curved objects with any real accuracy, but there are a couple ways around that. One method is to wrap the object with a string, then measure the string, and another is to get a flat-backed measuring tape. Believe it or not, once you have one of these, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. It's one of my favorite tapes in my shop. I'll link to this and some of the other specialty tapes that I like at the top of the comments below. Some of the best measuring tape secrets can help you do math. Let's say I want to find the center of a workpiece. Instead of dividing an odd fractional number like 8 7/8 in half, I'll angle the tape to an even number like 10, and then I'll divide that in half to find the center. The same method can be used to divide something into multiple equal parts. 9 is easily divided into 3 sections of 3. 12 is easily divided into 4 sections of 3, and so on. If you simply want to divide a rough measurement in half, such as 38 inches, fold the tape over on itself, placing the tab on the 38, and you'll find half that number, 19, right at the bend. A similar tip allows you to quickly subtract one measurement from another, such as 5 1/4 from 28 1/2. Place the tab at 28 1/2 and measure back 5 1/4. The answer is right there, 23 1/4. Here's another arithmetic trick that's more useful for break time than the actual job. Place the tab on the mark that corresponds to the current year. I originally filmed this footage in 2022, so I put the tab on the 22. Now ask someone their age, and the tape will tell you the year they were born. Since this trick was mostly for 6-year-olds, let's go to the 6, and the tape tells me he was born in 2016. If you want to try this with someone older, then consider the 0 to be 1900 instead of 2000. So then the 90s would be the 1990s, and 2022 would fall at 122 inches. I was 44 years old in 2022 when I filmed this, and the tape tells me that I was born in 1978, which is true. It works the other way too. If you know you were born in 1985, the tape will tell you that you are 37 years old. A measuring tape may also be used as a square. If you have a 4-sided object, such as a box or a frame, you can measure from corner to corner in one direction and see if that matches the distance between the corners in the other direction. If it does, it's square. If you only have 2 pieces to square, use the 3-4-5 rule. That's 3 along one side, 4 along the other, and 5 to connect them along the hypotenuse. These are actually ratios, not necessarily fixed numbers. So while it can be 3, 4, and 5 inches for a small project, you can do 3 feet, 4 feet, and 5 feet for something larger, but you could also do something in between, like 6 inches, 8 inches, and 10 inches, as long as you're using the same ratios. Many tapes have special markings on them to help with common construction layout. There's usually an arrow every foot to help with these common increments. Every 16 inches is often in red to help you quickly identify common wall stud spacing. And while it's a little less common nowadays, some tapes also have diamonds every 19.2 inches, which divides an 8-foot sheet into 5 equal parts for some joist and rafter spacing. Having these markings on the scale can save you a lot of time, But even more useful is the ability to make your own marks right on the tape to record various measurements that you will repeat throughout your project. You can do this with the dry erase marker on any measuring tape, but it does tend to wear off pretty easily. The tapes I use have a matte surface that are easily marked with a pencil. It takes a little moisture and some rubbing to remove the pencil, so the marks remain for the whole project. You can do this on most of the tapes that I use, but they also make a special story pull edition which has extra room for your marks and your notations. I love these, and they're relatively inexpensive, so you can dedicate one tape to a project that you repeat frequently and just leave the markings on it. Another way to keep track of measurements is to mark them on the side of the tape case. My tapes have pencil-friendly surfaces that are easy to mark, but lacking that, you could just pop on a Post-it note. And I kind of like that idea because then the note can be transferred to another tool like your table saw later. Sometimes it pays to have more than one type of tape, the story pull tape, for example, or perhaps a left-handed tape. I definitely recommend one with both metric and imperial measurements. If you ever get some project plans and you wish that they were converted to a system that your country uses, well, if you have a tape with both scales, your conversions are right there for you. Now, by now, most people know that the tab on the end of the tape is supposed to move a little bit. This makes it possible to take both inside and outside measurements of something accurately. But if you ever check to see if yours moves the right amount, which should be equal to the thickness of the steel tab, hook it on the end of a board and then carefully mark a measurement. Then butt another piece against the end of the board so you can place the tab against it. If the same measurement falls in the same place, you have an accurate tape. If it doesn't, you might want to consider burning an inch whenever you need a really accurate measurement. Burning an inch means starting your measurement on the 1 inch mark instead of the end of the tape. That eliminates the tab and it makes it as accurate as your eyesight. Just remember to subtract that inch from your final measurement. One place you can't burn an inch is when you're taking an inside measurement, but that doesn't mean you can't be accurate. Instead of bending the tape and trying to eyeball the correct line, measure a full number from one side, such as 5 inches, then measure from the other direction and add the 5. Some tapes try to simplify this by noting the width of the body on the case so that you can add that to your measurement, but I find the other way more accurate. You'll usually find a slot in the tabbed ends of most tapes. This makes it possible to hook it on a nail, which will hold it more securely than simply hooking it on the edge of something. I find this most useful when I'm taking very long measurements, such as the side of a building, but there's more you can do with that tab. If you file some serrations into it, you can use the tab to score a line parallel to an edge. This is a nice quick way to break down materials. If you don't want to mar your tab, you could place a pencil on it and try to hold it still as you run the body of the tape along the edge. Some prefer to pinch the tape between their fingers and run those along the edge of the board instead, but watch out for splinters. You can also draw a circle with a measuring tape. One method is to hook the tab onto a nail and place your pencil against the case. With the tape locked against retracting, you can draw your circle. If you wish for more accuracy, you may hold the point of the pencil right on the point of the scale you require, but it can be a little tricky to maintain that precise position. You could also reverse everything, hooking the body of the tape on the nail and holding the pencil at the tabbed end. Believe it or not, a measuring tape's best friend is actually a magnet. Keep a couple rare earth magnets attached to the rivets on your tool belt, and the next time you drop something, the measuring tape can become a pickup tool while you stay on the ladder. Those are my favorite measuring tape tricks. Now here's something else that you'll find interesting. It's just a couple of cuts. Your ears will be fine, right? They will be if you have your IsoTunes Bluetooth earbuds in, because you'd already have your ANSI certified hearing protection on because you're listening to your favorite music and podcasts. And you're supporting a small family business at the same time. Please use the link below this video to learn more and to show them you support what we do as well.